case no one knew, the races at Atlanta totally suck this time,
Yep.
in my oh so humble opinion. Actually,
Ross
most of the people
Chastain
on
made-
the internet. Ross Chastain loves making friends. A lot to get to in that one. NBC made a new friend out of me for how piss poor. Like, I mean, it's not even like there was a lot happening for them to have to cover. Like a dude lost a tire and there was 2 wrecks. Otherwise, there was nothing. And you still botched something. I mean, he didn't botch a truck barrel rolling down a straightaway on a track that's this big. I mean, yeah. So he didn't botch it like that bad. Unless Fox posted something about it. I didn't see Fox post that.
I didn't see anything.
Because Fox doesn't give a damn about NASCAR. They just take, there's no here, take the money, see you later, bye.
Right.
Here's your money, leave us alone. Now we can fuck with your product as much as we want. Why? Because now we own your ass. But yeah, that was egregiously terrible. But there was a lot of other good racing. Again, some of it wasn't from this weekend, but it aired and my DVR blew up like an SOB. So that's a good thing. It didn't record the actual F1 race. I did get to see the sprint race though, so shout out to that. I don't
Just mess up the F1 race too.
Records all the qualifyings, all the everything, then doesn't do the race. Like you've managed to not screw up the moving the start of the race time up for the Cup race. Even got all the pre-race stuff, but you didn't record the F1 race at all, even though you got
DirecTV as well.
No, I have Hulu. So apparently everyone just sucked. But shout out to them and to Noah Gregson. Again, I don't know. I didn't even send you this. I didn't even think about it. It was in my pictures of our dear friend Noah, costing 3 of those teams damn near $250,000 for driving like a toolbox last weekend. Well, I guess it's not last weekend anymore. 2 weekends ago. And costing just 3 of those teams pretty much $250K combined, which is what 83 grand a pop, really theoretically, and he got fined $30K.
Yeah, the three teams was $250K or
good on you, NASCAR. Thanks for proving everything that me and him said on Friday. Here we are, Monday night. It's late.
You've had time.
It's later than normal. Like they all almost had to pay triple just fix their stuff, and I'm sure that's just on average. Then he got fined for causing all the damage and mayhem because he drives like a dick. Yeah, and I know we're gonna get into Ross Chastain making friends because he also has a tendency of. At least it's just he takes out he takes out the same guy repeatedly. And again, we're going to get to it later, but in that guy's defense, make sure my hand is above the table this time. That guy has had it coming pretty much his whole entire career.
Oh, I know who we're talking about.
The guy that Ross just seems to be best friends with, he's had it coming. I mean, how many times did he take out Danica and a bunch of cars at Daytona just because he just apparently could not drive anywhere near her at a restrictor plate track without turning her into a wall? Because who didn't know that you're not supposed to slam draft somebody in the middle of a turn when the air's already like not on your spoiler holding it down? You're up to and cause all hell to break loose. I mean, Recchi at least wrecked multiple different people. He just wrecked everyone. Denny kind of only wrecked her, and then Chase at Martinsville to cost him, the championship 4 race repeatedly, driving like a dick. And then the whole Daytona thing while Newman was dying and he didn't care, doing burnouts 100 feet from him. You know what? Denny's he's got karma coming his way, and it's all bad, unfortunately.
Most definitely.
I don't make this stuff up like you, sir. This is coming from me. Trust me. I know a thing or two about this. You're a dick. And you have it coming.
He'll get
all of it. You have lots of it. And if you think he's driving like a dick now, I'm pretty sure, Denny, when you say when it matters most, don't worry, it'll happen. Like if you cost him the championship, I'm pretty sure you're not going to have to worry about him wrecking you, accidentally once. And he took you out in St. Louis. I mean, he really did twice. I'm pretty sure he took him out. You don't have to worry about him. What? He'll wreck you every goddamn lap of every race. But whenever you cost him a championship, Ross will repeatedly.
Yeah, he'll make that.
You will not finish another race as long as Ross has a car. If you don't get him first.
Agreed.
And this is why Denny hasn't won a championship, because he's a petulant teenager on the inside. Yeah. But now, as you have my grand list, I told you there was a lot. At least I wasn't lying when I said there was a ton of stuff on my DVR. Granted, my whole entire like off-road section at one point was all Sardinia, like E-Series, like the same highlight show. So at least I went in there and went, thank God. But then I didn't get any of the results anyway, because that got screwed up too. But
you don't have the results for it?
Well, that's why I wrote, hold on, Extreme E, Sardinia. Walter.
Yep.
Like you're in there for that, but whatever else I managed to not catch, because I watched a lot of stuff. I don't know what was. And again, I bet you a lot of stuff on my list you didn't get to watch.
Some of it I didn't.
Because you have this thing called I don't know, life and terrorists and all that cool stuff. I had to go to church, so I mean, that or one Sunday. Food was good though. I will give them that.
Food's usually good.
Food helps.
Food makes it worth going sometimes. Depending on what.
Shout out to that little Filipino lady, because that shit was good. Mass produced, but good.
Speaking of,
amen.
Had some new Mexican today. It was really delicious as well.
Yeah, I wanted to go to Mikabani the other day, but I just then I have to people.
I was talking with a guy at work the other day. Conversation for no time.
Like I'm just gonna go and eat my party pizzas and what. I don't care how good their moles and all what. I'm just gonna go home and eat a party pizza because I don't want to people right now. At least I was honest. Told you about like people. Okay, but get onto your list of stuff, and then I'll get into I actually have 2 pages, which is amazing because normally I somehow only have one. Look, and I didn't screw up. I didn't forget SRX this time. Have to handwrite it in.
Here we go.
Hell, I even write down notes and I still forget SRX as I'm typing it.
It's okay. It's okay. I've if anyone gets it, I get it. All right, so moving on here. The only thing that I have that I believe you don't have on your list is the modifieds. And
I'll see them in about 8 weeks. That's about when they do it. I'll see that in about 2 months.
So we got modifieds and USAC. So moving into modifieds.
Moving on up.
Right? Some days. Hey, I'm just shocked things are working today.
In the sky.
Granted, a new cord helped.
That's because everyone's outside doing all their illegal activity right now,
Right?
Sun's going down. It's not as hot,
Yeah, it's Jackson. They're definitely doing that.
Yeah. Idiots go bump in the night.
All right. So this time around, we were running in Wall Township, New Jersey at the Wall Stadium. And it was let me get this right. I said it wrong the other day. The Jersey Shore 150. I told somebody the wrong number. I said Jersey Shore 300 for some reason. No clue why. Anyway.
Right about it. It's Jersey Shore. Just saying those words.
Anywho. So for the top 5, we had. Actually, no, I'm going to do the top 10 because a couple people that deserve it. First was Jimmy Blewett. Second was Matt Hirschman.
Turns out, no, he didn't.
Third was Pat Emerling. Fourth was Andrew Kraus. Fifth was Ron Silk. Sixth was Justin Bossignor. Seventh was Austin Beers. Eighth was John McKennedy. Ninth was Blake Brandt. I was going to say Blake Barney. Blake Brandy. Anywho. And 10th was rounding it out with Kyle Bossignor. And with that being said, that's all but one race, I believe, this year. Those two have finished in the top 10 together. last year was. I think it's only one that they didn't. And the ones they've raced together, I should say.
It's impressive.
All right, sorry. Carry on.
Very good. Well, you had that other one, didn't you? Said that
Yeah,
was
you
good.
said.
Yeah. Hey, how are you? Hey, terrorists.
That's a new one.
Terrorists.
All right.
Need I say more?
That threw me off.
Hey. Hello. Hello.
All right.
Lady.
So on the 8th, we raced at
Up second.
something like that. The 8th, we raced at Hussett Speedway. The 9th and 10th. Okay, I'm thinking of the other race. Okay, so all three of these were raced at Hussett's. I was thinking of a different sprint race. All right, so on the 8th, we had it was load better. There we go. Robert Ballou won, and it was for the where was the name of it? Come on, there we go. Magic 8-ball results in good fortune at Hussett's USAC Nationals. That was the name that came up the other day when I wrote it down. And I even went back and looked it up again to make sure. But anyway, moving on. That's what I said. There's no way. All right.
Magic 8-ball. I bet whoever came up with that name, they certainly were on a magical 8-ball.
Moving on, though, we had the feature with Robert Ballou taking first, Justin Grant in second, Thomas Mersall in third, Brady Bacon in fourth, and fifth was Jake Rogers.
Brady Bacon.
I think Bacon has a chance this year of taking a championship, just my personal beliefs.
I think anything with Bacon in it should win a championship.
Well,
even if it's your last name.
That was what I was going to say. Oh, by the way, there was a roller in this race this time, a really good one. What was his name? Xavier Dooney, I think.
I don't get paid. I don't get paid to know how to pronounce their.
It was towards the beginning of
names.
Anyways, he wrecked out. It was pretty good. First place in points at 11:45 is Justin Grant. Second, Brady Bacon with 10.99.
Yeah.
Third is Robert Bello with 10.79. Logan CV's got fourth with 10.70.
Sounds like a bunch of tax forms.
Yeah.
1099s and
the next night
they raise the price. I even do it myself. I just do it to do it, and they still raise the prices on it. Miserable bastards make me pay more to file my zero income.
Yeah.
God, dicks.
I
didn't have to print it off this time, though, so at least they accepted it electronically. Carry on.
Yes. That is a plus. I remember when you had to do it by paper. Anyways. The next night, the feature was won by Robert Bernal. Second was Justin Grant. Brady Bacon took third. Robert Ballou took fourth. And fifth was, again, Logan CV. Points after that race was Justin Grant with 11.95. Brady Bacon with 11.49. Robert Bello with 11.29. And fourth was Logan CV. Fifth was Emerson Axon. Then the next night we had the same track. Third night we ran. It was a 40-lap feature because it was considered the main for the last night. We ran 40 laps with Michael Moles taking first, CJ Leary taking second, Emerson Axon taking third, Brady Bacon taking fourth, and Robert Bello taking fifth. Now, the sixth place was Xavier Dooney, like I said, the one that rolled over first night. All right. Overall points after that race was where I just lost my place. First place, Justin Grant with 12.45. Brady Bacon with 11.99. Robert Bello with 11.79. Logan CV with 11.70, which means he better get his shit together this week or he's getting passed. And 5th place was Emerson Axon with 11:45. That was all my races from the last 4 days that wasn't on.
How about that? I had a longer list than Walter.
Yeah. Well, we also have 4 more days that I didn't have on there that I normally would have on there. But good job.
That's why I love Mondays. None of that stuff's done yet. There are a lot of, I mean, I just like bacon. And those are good races. You just never get to see them.
That's the there's only 3 or 4 more races this season or this month for the National Sprint Series. That's towards the end of the month. There's no more Silver Crown until I believe it was next month.
Yeah, everyone's in a big hole.
Yeah, there's a big gap.
It's that time. Again, it was like, you know, ARCA East
No, I lied.
off for
July
like
21st. There's one Silver Crown race. Then August 6th.
Yeah, they're off until then. I don't care if there's one race. Yeah.
Well, in that series, 1 race in a month span, that's a pretty low number.
Yeah, that's so they're off. As far as I'm concerned, that one race doesn't make it. Yeah. Just like in the old days of NASCAR, it's like, well, they get out because they get off, you know, beginning in November. So when they added the races, it's always been like they're off until February. It's like people go, yeah, but they test. Yeah, for like 3 fucking days in 2 months. Shut up. They're off.
Yeah.
And then people just look at me like I'm mean. I'm not mean. You guys are just dumb. Hey. Oh. Now on to all the good stuff that I saw. You could just tell me what you got to see or not. There's a lot of crazy stuff. By the way, that logo, that's got to be one of the cooler ones that I've seen for racing. Yeah. Shout out to the British Touring Car Championship. Didn't even I was just told what they're lying. I turned it on. I mean, little Matchbox cars, but it was good racing. I don't know if you got to see it.
Oh,
out there at Thruxton,
some of those guys over there race those Mini Coopers in that one group that I follow. I've told you about before. They run those crotch rocket motors in them, those fancy Rotex like transmissions.
Yeah. It was actually really good. It was a good race. I mean, I enjoyed it. I mean, the first 2 races, I mean, it was literally just between like the 2 guys, and they were like on each other, and they're like, is he gonna make them slip the last bit because they were just there? And like third place was like a year back. It was like watching an AMA motocross race. It's on, where is he? Where is he? Where is it? Oh, look, he's gone. Tomac gets the lead, and it's just like, oh, how many seconds is he gonna win by today? Because that's pretty much all he's done. But it was a Cook and Hill. Like Cook finished first, Hill finished second in both the first and second race. Sutton was third in both, but he was over 9 seconds behind second. Like,
is that the same Sutton I'm thinking of?
Could be.
What's his first name?
I don't know.
Okay, remember. Go ahead.
But he was off by like a year, and then they started in the back for race 3, a little farther in the back. Jason Plato was on pole, and then Morgan was first. Turkington was second. Sutton finished third again. Cook got all the way back up to 5th, but he started way back there. So it was a good run for him. You can tell he ran out of tires or something, but it was really weird just watching those cars just trip me out. I don't know what it is. There's something about like little just vroom cars. Or it's just the fact that only 2 guys look like they competently knew how to actually race. But who am I? I probably couldn't do it.
It happens.
I couldn't do this. I could probably do that. I couldn't do super bikes. Like, that's just no. I hit the ground. I hit the ground once.
Well, yeah. I mean, hit the ground. It's never.
I got about 1 too many screws. What all it takes is 1, and I'm not getting up. But if you didn't see them, they're at WeatherTech Raceway in Laguna Seca, and went about as expected with all of it. Race 1, Matthew Schultz was on pole. Then Gagne was first, Peterson was second, and Petrucci was third. And then again, race 2, Schultz on pole again, and then Gagne won. Petrucci was second, and Peterson finished third, but Gagne got the points lead out of it, which is the key important thing. And then I got to see the damnedest thing, which was the Superbike King of Baggers racing stuff. Not be seeing Harley Davidsons and stuff with saddlebags, mounted like. That's just giving people a million bad ideas if they've never seen that race. Like, going down the interstate, what I've already seen people doing. And I'm going, he wants to die. No, I'm just right down the dotted line. Yeah, good times, but yeah, again, weirdest thing ever. But thankfully, Travis Wyman was on pole, and his brother, I believe, that Kyle Wyman was first. Travis finished second, and then Rispoli was third. And then I need you to do the Extreme E stuff because, again, my DVR recorded the same thing 3 times, but for some reason, none of the 3 times, at 3 separate times, it recorded it through the weekend. It didn't actually show me the results at the end. And I was all, yep, if you're going to do that to me, you're going to do me like that 3 times. I'm not even wasting my time going online. It's just going to piss me off even worse.
Don't be stupid thing.
Well, I mean, it's a thing. Bound to be stupid.
Well, now it's not loading for some reason. Not understanding why.
Well, I mean, if you don't have it.
I think it might be their site, dude, because I'm clicking it and it's not showing it.
Well, see, there we go. That could be it.
Let's try this one more time.
Hey, if it
I
doesn't
reloaded.
work.
Stand by. Okay, there we go. Qualifying.
It was just weird. Like it didn't cooperate, which I normally don't have that problem. Especially when it records 3 times, it screws it up 3 separate times. I mean,
Understand.
Could be a network error, but you know.
All right. So round out the results. First went to RXR again. They had a time for the race of 9 minutes, 12 seconds. Place 2 was the X44 team. They were plus 8.22 seconds. Third was our friends from Genesis.
Hey-o.
They came in third
That's
with
your friend.
at a 12.88. And fourth, we have Laconia. Oh, that's what it is. Laconia Saints. I don't know why I couldn't read that from that far away.
Signs? The other signs.
Yeah.
A lot of signs.
Did I say signs or sign?
Signs everywhere.
Oh, you're right. Signs. It's signs. There's an I.
I thought that was you guys' soundtrack to Jackson, Michigan.
So did I.
Turns out it was a tiny person. So that one's loud. Like, what? I'll talk to you later, Walter. They're coming for you.
I got sidetracked.
Easily
fourth place, they did not finish because they had failure.
Yeah.
And then fifth place was the ABT team, and they're disqualified. I don't remember what they were disqualified for though.
I don't remember.
I watched
it 3 times.
It wasn't in the last 24 hours that I watched that, so I'm having a hard time remembering off the top, man.
I was pissed off. Okay, what? Watch it. Fast forward. Nothing. Okay, what?
But just for everybody to know,
Irritated.
I'm going to list off the top 5 in points for the Extreme E Series. We have place 1, RXR with 20 points. Place 2 is X44 with 16 points. Place 3 is the McLaren team with Emma and Tanner Faust. Tanner Faust and Emma Gilmore. They have 15 points. Place 4, again, the Science team at 13 points. And then we have rounding out in the top 5, your boys from Chip Ganassi.
Hey, your boy.
They got 11 points.
You've talked more about him than I ever have. I just told you they backed him into a corner. He had nothing else to do. Which is true. It's damn true. That brings us on to Trans Am racing because I got a lot of results from last weekend at Road America. I mean, that thing was sitting on my thing to watch for a couple days there, but it was good racing. I mean, I have no problem with the Trans Am stuff. And again, it was at Road America. And there were some, names in there that actually did some stuff. I mean, Kaz Gralla starting on pole is not what I'm surprised about. Before anyone thinks I'm talking trash about Kaz Gralla, I actually kind of like Kaz Gralla. I put him in, halfway decent equipment. I mean, he has done halfway decent things. Yeah, you work with what they give you. Good. Yeah, so.
Fair enough.
But Paul Menard started 3rd. How about that? Boris Sid started 13th. Always good to see Boris Sid in there. Mr. I'm done with NASCAR. Funny how he was here earlier this year, but that's another story. I'm always happy to see Boris Sid show up. It's just not nearly as much fun because now everyone can road race. So, but that race, I mean, it was very blah, really, but Kaz Gralla led the whole thing, won the thing, but Paul Menard finished 2nd. And that's just Like, just stick to that. Stick to that guy.
He's good at Trans Am. He is.
Oh, he's good at Road America. I mean, that's where he got his, that one Xfinity Series.
Well, he's good in that series, though.
That was his thing.
I mean, I watched a few of his races where I'm like,
he's just a miserable.
If you could have just done that once or twice a year, you might still be in NASCAR.
No, he's just if he wasn't such an insufferable human being. And dear God, I've seen some of his interviews and I went, what? Please stop talking. Why? I would have hit you with the microphone by now. Like, they're doing the job. At least have the respect to answer the question without being a pretentious douche at the same time. Like, you can smile and answer the damn question.
We'll leave that.
Say a few words and walk away. It's not that hard. But it was good to see him second again. He won in the Xfinity Series a few years, way back when, before he left and went to Wood Brothers, and he's still driving for Children's. He won it easily. I don't remember his crew chief, Donnie Stockman, maybe was his crew chief back in that race too. Danny Stockman, I think so. It was a long time ago. I mean, Bill Elliott's come out of retirement to run an Xfinity Series race there. I mean, like, so what the hell do I know? It's been forever, but good on him. I mean, he has the talent, in there somewhere. He's just a dick.
Wasn't it Donnie Stockton?
Yeah, I said Donnie first time, then I corrected myself to Danny. I think it's actually Danny. I can't remember, but he did win the damn race, and he did it quite well. Improved. Like, the road racing thing was always, he was always better at that, per se, in the Cup Series. You always saw his name there. Kind of.
He did better in any cars than he did.
Well, I mean, didn't take much to do better in anything than he did in his Cup career. Did not.
Not like somebody else we know.
Did not take much to do that. But Chris Dyson finished third, and then Boris Said drove all the way up to fifth. So good on Boris and his Said heads. All your fans are still there. We still love you. Trans Am TA2 at Road America. There's a lot of dudes in that one. A lot. I don't know if you got to watch it, but the field was like...
I didn't watch it, but I heard some of the covers of it.
The field was this long compared to the first one, which was that big.
Well, isn't that what Justin Marks and
yeah, he was in that one.
Yes, raced in?
Brent Cruz got pole, but Justin Marks started 29th. And again, late caution, but Cruz almost lost the lead, held on to it, just ran over everybody, and became the youngest winner in Trans Am at 14 years old, which is just gonna go far, kids. Do it at 14. Well, it's amazing you can get a racing license, but you can't get an actual. Yeah, in the Trans Am series, but there's something.
You got to be 14 years and 9 months. Well, hold on, let me back up.
My point exactly.
Circa 2002-ish, you could get a farmer's permit in Michigan. So, I mean, 14 years and 9 months. That was the earliest you could drive league on the road.
I'm saying most states, nowhere near that. This kid's already out driving all of you. He's already accomplished more in his life before you could even legally get a license with a racing license. Your life pretty
with a driver's license.
Yeah, that big, but he got it, dominated. Sammy Smith second. Thomas Merrill was third. We had a Merrill in Iraq, didn't we? And he was the idiot that drove on the flat 7-ton tire for like 10 miles and didn't know it. As he drove by us as we were coming back from the chow hall or something, we went, yeah, we're going to have to fix that. Good times.
Yeah. Tim's last name was Cheryl.
No, Merrill. Cheryl was the other one. We had another Cheryl. Merrill was one of the boots that came over in the middle of it. I remember his stupid face.
Wasn't Tim's last name Cheryl or Merrill?
He was the Cheryl, and our Marine that had the flat tire was Merrill.
Okay.
We had a Cheryl and a Merrill. We liked him.
Well, Cheryl, we like.
Wherever the hell you are right now, doing whatever you're doing.
You need to find that guy.
Making way more money than we ever could, volunteering to go and watch us work.
Write that down.
There you go. So I write all kinds of stuff down. But Connor Mozak, again, there's the name again, finished fourth, and Justin Marks got all the way up to seventh, which is quite respectable for you. I mean, he hasn't technically, raced, I'm glad to see him getting back into it. I thought he was always, an underappreciated driver to me. Yeah. So good on him to get that. Gets us to the Fanatec GT Europe. That thing right there. World Challenge. It's just weird, but Sprint Cups in Misano 2022, day one. C. Wirtz was on pole, and then Van Thor was first, Marcelo was second, and Goatee, however the hell you pronounce it, way you see it, whatever the hell, Goatee. We'll go with Goatee. Goet? Guetti,
Good.
whatever. Third. Day 2, Wirtz was first, and Bogus. Yeah, there we go. Boguslavsky. Thanks for that one. The second, Gashier was third, and I pronounced that one right, so I made up for my that's just weird. It's not my fault. I have a weird last name. That's weird. I finally got the results, kind of, for the off-road championship stuff from the Forest County Potawatomi Brush Run at Cranton International Raceway in Crandon, Wisconsin. And I'm guessing you didn't get to see that because you'd be just as pissed off as I am. Oh, did you get to watch it? So did you appreciate that they showed us the race for Pro 2, where Mickey Thomas was on pole, by the way? For everyone, he's following along. He has the loads, you don't. Leads it all the way, gets first repeat winner of the season, yada, yada, yada. Brooks finished second, and then the guy whose last name is actually Winner finished third. You are not the winner. You were third. You were technically a loser. And top 6 was all Fords. And then the Pro 4, we had Kyle LeDuc on pole, didn't surprise me. CJ Greaves won, Henderson was second, and Mittag was third. And then my favorite part was when they showed the highlights and then the points after the race for the Pro Stock side-by-side, the Pro Spec, the Pro Lights, and all of that, but they didn't actually show you the fucking results on what the is the point of wasting airtime after you've been telling us coming soon for 2 weeks, both on the series site and the track site. You finally air it and you show highlights for 3 of them, but don't tell us actually anything that happened besides 30 seconds. Please don't waste people's time. Because all you actually accomplished with that was royally pissing me off. Like I was like, cool, like it's done. Like, here's the points. Like, are you? I'm trying not to drop as many F-bombs today. I've already said enough of those, but what is the point of showing it if you're going to do that? Like, I know you're trying to look at all this stuff. Like, that was dumb. What in the bluest of hells was the purpose of showing us like highlights and not telling us anything after you made us wait for 2 weeks?
Thank you.
That's called bad. That's really bad. That's like, let's say giving Noah Gregson a 30-point, penalty and $30,000 fine for something that cost people like $80,000+ because he drove like a dick.
There we go.
For example. Yeah.
All right. Which race do you want?
I mean, you could hit. I mean, the Pro Stock side-by-sides, we got Pro Spec, we got the Pro Lights. I mean, there was all kinds of stuff that happened. They just showed the highlights to those 3, and then
you've seen the highlight. Okay, let's do this then. The Pro Stock side-by-side.
They showed us the highlights for 30 seconds and then didn't tell us anything that happened. But here's the points afterwards. Like, well, thank you. That helped. Glad we know exactly why the points are doing everything they're doing, because you didn't show us anything useful.
All
Shout
right.
out to them for being useless.
The top 10 for the Pro Stock side-by-side was Brock Hager, CJ Greaves.
Heyo.
Nope, that is definitely CJ Graves.
See, you just confused. Well, I mean,
No,
CJ Greaves Greaves won in the Pro 4. I mean, he's there. He's all over the place.
It is Greaves.
Yeah, it's Greaves.
Okay, that's right.
I have a hard time believing that in one racing series there's a CJ Greaves and a CJ Graves running simultaneously.
Anyways, moving on.
Think about that in NASCAR. Holy God, think if Boyer was trying to commentate over that and the 2 of them together. Graves, whatever the hell his name is.
He'd butcher it every time. Every single time.
How many times does he screw that up? Every time. Every single.
Third was taken by Jake Kosmicki.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yep, Jake Kosmicki. I'm moving this over a little closer so I can read a little bit easier.
You can read better?
Yeah.
Education.
So then 4th place was Jack
Mihoff.
Letourneau. 5th was Jesse Klaus. 6th was Dylan Marquette. 7th was Dallas Nord. 8th was Joe Dressel. 9th was Kanan Baker. And 10th was Zach Martin. And then what was the other 2 you said?
You got the list.
Pro Spec. Come on. Don't be special.
I sent him my notes. I gave him a cheat sheet. He still sucks. Welcome to the
Oh
Marine
no!
Corps.
Look at it.
Welcome to the Marine Corps. Calm down, thing. All I did is put
I'm
paper
pretty
in
sure
it.
it's that right there.
Hey, if it has anything on there, I'd be surprised. I stopped looking.
All right. Well, was it the race with only 4 of them in it? The pro
Apparently.
spec? Okay.
Well, and I don't know how many was like.
Trying to remember.
There was more than 4 in the highlights, but I mean, well, see, look, they didn't even fix the problem. They just showed us highlights, and the website still sucks.
So then, well, according to their website, for the pro spec, you had Nick Vassar first.
Bastard.
Second was Gray Leadbetter.
We had a lead better.
Leadbetter.
Well, if he led better, he wouldn't. If he led better, he wouldn't have been in second.
Exactly. Third was Easton Sleeper.
Jesus.
And fourth was Chris Van Duelson.
And we got like a sleeper. We got a lead better. Talking about bacon.
And then
we're on a roll today.
Last but not least, the pro lights, we got
just the one of a million racing series that they have running every weekend.
Oh, I know. There's like 28 of them, I think, actually. 28 or 30 of them, actually. Anyways, moving on. So for the final of that race, we have Christopher. Whoa. Okay, I'm gonna butcher this one.
Christopher. Whoa.
Christopher Palvord.
There you go. It's not that bad.
Second was Kyle Greaves. Third was Carson Parrish. Fourth was Trey Gibbs. Fifth was Brody Eggleston.
Gibbs.
Fair enough. Sixth was Dylan Poynton. Seventh was Johnny Holtker. Eighth was Matt Wood. Ninth was Travis Mielhausen Jr. And 10th was Nick Pisculka. Nick Piscula. Leave it to Wisconsin. Piscula.
Hey, I mean, come on. We were only at Forest County, Potawatomi, Bush, Brush Run. You know, I mean, like, what was just you're just sitting there looking at it going, what the hell does that even say?
I gave up trying to read the whole name. It's so long on their website that instead of having the whole name, it's got part of it and then dot.
That's a good last name.
Sorry, carry on. Go ahead.
But it was good. Like, I mean, again, they just need to air it better. Like, they need, like, if you're going to put them on TV, how about you, especially after we're waiting for this long and your website still isn't even fully updated over 2 weeks later? How about you, like, guess what? Jesse knows how to code websites, but it actually isn't that hard to put all those results in there. It really isn't.
Want to make it public like that on like just like if you have regular TV or cable TV, you can watch on this channel, that channel. But
a sports network.
I know. So here's my problem with it though. If it's going to be a sports network of some form, no matter which one of the 5 or 6 that it comes from, you got to be a little more on top of it. Granted, I feel like certain things Fox is really good at, and then there's other things they're really shitty at. But this is one of those scenarios where it's like, maybe worth doing it on both that and Flow Racing or
something,
Dirt Vision or something, where it's at least got a fair chance of showing everything and making some money. Sorry, that's my soapbox. Carry on.
Hey, soapbox away. Whether like it's just they need to do all of them better. I've been saying they need to do all of them better for a very long time. They need to do them all better. Like if you're actually like
understand it's like the British stuff, okay. Trying to keep shit updated from shit that's overseas is difficult, and
like getting 2 terrorists, you know.
Yeah. So anyways,
yeah, keep going. Hey, what, dude? Trust me, I've recorded shows with Heather with screaming. I'm sitting there like recording with Justin. Suddenly, because he does the backdrop through Zoom that they give you, and suddenly you just see like his kid's head just pop up into the black behind me. You know, at least that's just voices. That's like you're saying. You know, he laughs. I'm just sitting there like my blood pressure.
That's fair enough.
What the? How about we don't do that? What? I don't want to die today, so don't feel bad. What yelling? What? Man, how many times the doorbells rang? Daisy's lost her mind. Like what?
That's where I was going with it. there's no reason they can't come up with some sort of a contract with these people to give them a better availability of viewers. I mean,
when racing was at its best, when we had this one network. What was it called? Oh wait, Speed. You didn't have to put it on any of the other networks trying to show soccer and everything else. It was for racing for everybody, so it covered all of it.
Even if it was just highlights, at least they covered only racing.
Didn't have to try to fit a highlight show in for a half hour in the middle of nowhere.
But it was only racing.
Good
Even
job.
if it was horses.
Good job, Fox. Guess what? You could have made FS1 and left Speed alone. You didn't have to buy it and change it to that because your coverage for racing absolutely sucks.
Yeah.
Hey-oh. Now listen what I say.
Well, and there's the other part of that too, because like I feel like there's some stuff from overseas, literally from Europe series, from Middle East, and I've even seen some desert stuff in Africa that gets better coverage and showmanship on TV than half the shit, if not all the shit from here. And it's like, this doesn't add up.
I mean, personally, I think it'd be really great.
Well, the Tour de France gets better coverage than half American racing.
If Sky Sports took over, look at I mean, they might be putting it through ESPN so we can see it over here, but Sky Sports F1 coverage is beautiful. They give them all the bells, the whistles. You get to see everything. Like there's production value. You know, I mean, like there's all this stuff like that, like the British touring cars. Like that stuff was actually good.
Unless I was going to go with it. A lot of them European coverages, and I say it like that because their sports casting is way different over there than it is here. Why it's so much smoother and efficient over there, I don't understand.
Because this is American. We found a way to make everything.
Oh, we found a way to make everything stupid.
We're making it more efficient by making it
I won't say that.
Efficient. We are efficient at making things inefficient.
Stupid.
It'd be like taking a McDonald's manager and sticking them in a Chick-fil-A on a Sunday, on like a Saturday lunchtime, and they're slammed. But it would suddenly make that from the smoothest place on the planet to a nuclear warhead.
Oh, they wouldn't be able to do it.
The place would burn to the ground. Don't you burn them down, my Chick-fil-A. I do not want to have to go all the way down to the mall to get a Chick-fil-A sandwich.
I don't disagree.
That should be a form of communism in and of itself. But to get to good racing, after just the coverage from that was just atrocious. AMA Motocross, and guess what? They only showed us Moto 1, but they showed it in its entirety. They showed us the highlight and the qualifying stuff, and then they showed us the whole thing, I think uninterrupted too. Like they just went 30 straight minutes. You got to see the whole damn thing. I would know because I fast forward through commercials. And when I don't know, I then go backwards to get back to the race coverage so I can then skip the commercial because it's that much faster. Oh, look, I missed it by 3 seconds. Back up. Yeah. And it was great racing for motocross. Southwick International, the Wick 338, 450 Moto 1. I mean, Tomac might have won by like 1,000 years. I mean, he was up by over 10 seconds at one point. He only won by like 7, but you could tell he was he was driving away by a second or two every lap, and then suddenly they caught him 3. So in other words, he's like, yeah, I'm not screwing this up. They're about a year behind me. I love how much longer the motocross tracks can be because they're outside, so they're not constrained to, like the inside of an arena or all that, which I think puts on, better racing, more chances to do all kinds of, yes and no. It does brings extra stupid into it, a lot more, unpredictable. Like there's a lot of chance, but I think the tracks are more, can be more complex and crazy in that. And guess what?
Yes.
Continuity. Because guess who's doing the coverage still? That'd be Dude and Ricky going straight over, and they do that. So it's the same people the whole time, no matter what series it is. So the coverage isn't going to absolutely suck. Like when people, hey, what NBC coverage? And everyone's like, yay. Because no offense, they love commercials. They love commercials.
Yeah.
Holy balls. I didn't have a gap on Hulu farther than that without and then there were some that were that big when nothing happened, where they gave me like 3 minutes and then back to another commercial. Like if I can watch,
it's horrible for commercials.
If I can watch like AEW wrestling on TNT and TBS, And 90% of their show is picture in picture. Like I shouldn't be
Well,
having
everybody gets
commercial after commercial after commercial after commercial without seeing anything. Granted, I'm not complaining because the race absolutely sucked at Atlanta, but it's principle of it. There's going to be races that aren't going to suck. And yeah.
well, I have different views about it. I look at it like this. When it comes to NBC and watching the race, normally I'll wait an hour until after the race starts to start watching the race. Just because I don't necessarily always like the person that's talking, and the fact that I don't like 99.9% of the commercials available on TV at this point in time.
I'm so happy. Like, do you watch it live? Like, I'm so happy I don't watch the first one because by the time I catch up, it's right at the end. That's why I fast forward through.
A little bit. For lack of better terms, I fast forward through all the bullshit.
Yeah, there's not really a better term, is there?
No, there's really not.
Shucks. At least we tried. But it was good to see now the same list of characters, in motocross again. Tomac, like this is just his year. I don't know how he's not going to win the championship. Like they're going to have to like kill him. Please God, what I'm not saying, kill him. Yeah, there's me knocking on wood, but he's winning by like he just has more time. Like by the time the Supercross race is over, he's just finally biding his time and getting up to the leader and like, see you later, bye. I'm gone. It's true. I mean, he's winning by 9,000 seconds. And
that was an outdoor race, right?
Chase Sexton and Christian Craig up there in second and third. I mean, it's the same cast of characters. It's just, he was way.
I don't know what it is about outside racing, but I really feel like he prefers.
Well, I don't know if it's time constraints.
In a Larson situation where he'd rather go race at a local dirt track in a sprint car versus the cup car. I feel like sometimes he'd rather go race on a dirt track outside somewhere than some pre-formed gravel track.
I just think it's a time constraints and all that. I mean, like, because Supercross, you get one little dumb thing happen, you're pretty much screwed because by the time you catch back up to everyone, try to get through everything with how short most of the tracks are.
Well, yeah,
you're screwed. Like you go down to motocross, but you got a half hour, bro.
When you're arena racing, it's a whole other world.
Yeah, you got to go.
And you can't just make things up. You can't catch up.
You can't go. What? You got a half hour? Is there rabbits on parade? Is there bulls on parade? Is there terrorists?
No, I'll tell you later.
The Antichrist? I mean, like
something like that.
Maddie's back home?
Go on. Huh?
Maddie's back home?
No. No.
She'll never hear it, so it's okay. When she does, guess what? Come here, ski. You can just pull that line again. But I think he's better on there just because, again, the time wise, I mean, like you could see like in that first 10, 15 minutes, he's just biding his time, slowly passing people. He doesn't have to be in any rush. He's figuring out the track and all that. Like, and he's just like, he's out for a Sunday drive in the best like meaning of that. He's like an Earnhardt at Talladega. He's just, everyone else is, he's just, oh, look, the air. Oh, look.
There it is.
It's like one of those feelings. He just seems to be, his brain.
Kind of like, hello, Arrow, my old friend.
Like he could see the air.
And you again.
There's everyone making the face. He could do what? He can see the air. Well, you heard him.
There was no exaggeration in that.
He could do it, but I like the motocross races, and I will give them credit. They actually are fairly good at having them on, and they do good coverage for that too. Again, I mean, they ran it a half hour straight through. I don't think with any commercials at all that I had to fast forward through, which is amazing. I mean, he won't give you 3 seconds NASCAR. It's been 3 or 4 minutes, but they're gonna give you a commercial, and you will get mad. Commercials are not supposed to be as long as the race, by the way, everybody. But the racing action.
I feel the same about those as commercials, as commercials as I do cautions.
Yeah, the racing action should not be just as long as the commercial breaks, and cautions should not take 8 years.
Are we going?
Never, ever until you go away.
Why are you on my iPad?
Why are you asking questions? Hey, you're making Uncle Ski say very mean things. Killing my mojo, bro. Yeah. You're lucky I like you, kid. You make me chuckle. Except for that one time, and fecal matter was involved, and it was very awkward. And he looked like he saw a corpse. At least it smelled like a corpse.
Yes.
But yeah, he just seems to like it better. It's like a duck on water. But NHRA Sportsman Series Norwalk, the Lucas Oil Drag Racing Series. Don't know why there was a gap in between that. But top alcohol funny cars and dragsters. Doug Gordon won the funny car, was the winner. And the dragster winner was Matt Cummings. It's a hell of a last name. You're welcome, America. F1, again, the Austrian GP. I got to see the practices. I got to see the qualifying for the sprint race. I got to see the sprint race. And then it didn't record the actual race. But sprint race, shocker. Max Verstappen won, Charles Leclerc was second, Carlos Sainz third, George Russell fourth, Sergio Perez fifth, Ocon was sixth, K-Mag was seventh, Lewis Hamilton was eighth, and Mick was the first one out of points in ninth. But he did give Lewis a run for the money for a while there. He was doing very well. See, this is why we do this when you guys are unconscious.
Yes.
And then the actual race, again, I heard Max made a hell of a run of it at the end there. I didn't get, again, heaven forbid, I even went through and hit record just to make sure it didn't screw up. And it still screwed up. But I set you to record twice. You still didn't. But, it was good to see Charles Leclerc get the win. Max apparently had a good run at it at the end, but didn't get, up to him. Lewis got another third. George Russell was fourth, so he's back up there. Ocon was fifth. And then Mick Schumacher, best career finish in sixth. So congratulations to Mick. He went from getting his first points to now getting his best career finish in 2 weeks. So, and it was a good run for, both of the Haas cars, which thank God, because qualifying and racing, they've had a few bad races there. So
yeah, they've had some.
Yeah, but Mick,
there's one way to put it, that's for sure.
Mick sixth, K-Mag eighth, and then what is it? The McLarens with Lando seventh, and then Daniel Ricciardo with ninth. So it was good to be both of those guys. And Fernando Alonso got 10th, and then Carlos Sainz and Checo, that'd be Sergio Perez, both had DNF. So I have no idea what happened there. But again, I can't know because I didn't get to watch it. So, why would they let me watch it? Gets us on to even more fun stuff, which I did get to watch because the DVR didn't completely suck. Hey, what? Keep going. I'm used to getting distractions and people walking in. Like I've had just about everything. I have cats come in and knock off people's cameras and stuff just a mid thing. I'm used to it, but nothing goes to plan in my life. It's my life. Don't you forget. Never ends. Never thought I'd be quoting her, but guess what?
So you were talking about the F1 race there.
Yeah, the thing that I didn't record because.
Yeah, I know. Well, I didn't get to watch all of it either.
I didn't get to watch it.
But
pricks.
But I did look at the highlights, and I do have the results. But you also have the results there.
I just went over them while you were.
I know.
You probably muted me too, just so you could talk to a terrorist.
I just muted my mic.
I don't want to hear nothing. Shut up. It was a good. Again, Max got up with a little over a second behind him. What did I say? Beat Max, and I'll pick someone besides Max. Max still damn near got you.
Yeah.
If he hasn't blown up, I'm pretty sure he's been in the top two every race.
He's been pretty good.
People will beat him. Him finishing second. I'm not going to believe anyone's going to beat him their next race because it's second. But the ARCA race, the Dawn 150 from Mid Ohio, pretty. Glad they actually put it, which is just amazing. Another garbage weekend of weather, which is amazing how many straight weekends we've had on road courses with just garbage weather. But
yeah,
I don't know if you saw it or not. Some amazing stuff in this race. John Hunter Nemechek on pole, and it was his first ever ARCA race.
Whole race. I did watch that whole race.
First ever ARCA race. It's just mesmerizing. Man, I knew he was good.
And did you see how good It was like watching Kyle Larson go to another series. Oh, yep, there. Oh, yep. Oh, yep. That's John.
He was gone he was checked out for the most part.
Almost the whole time.
Yeah.
At one point, he had a really good lead.
At one point, he was up over 20 seconds. Like he was just gone. 20, then, 23, 24, 20, something like that. Yeah. Stupid people, but he was gone. It was kind of like Ty Gibbs at the beginning of whatever road race they were at earlier this year. It could have been that, but Road America Portland in the rain when he was just driving away from everybody. You're sort of going, Portland. Are we sure we're on the same? What? Are we sure we're on the what? AJ's running off the track and Ty Gibbs is just driving away. Like, what the? It was one of those situations. It didn't end that way, but that's his own teammate's fault. But Tony Breidinger was 15th. Belcan started 18th. And again, you see it. John Hunter drove away with it for the most of it until his teammate Jesse Love legit body slammed him. And
Love and Doc struggling yesterday.
But I would have punched him
or not yesterday. Yeah.
Whenever it was, Saturday. Yeah. Same thing. I would have punched him like John Hunter was. I feel like when he finally does have enough, granted it's an ARCA car, so it didn't mean anything except a trophy. I get it, but sooner or later he's gonna hit somebody, and I feel really bad for
when he lets
somebody. See, he's been getting the short end of the stick for a long time, and again with 4 to go. But it was good to see Taylor Gray get a win. Parker Chase a second. Sammy Smith, we keep hearing his name like he's just popping up all over the world racing. There he is getting a third, so good on him. John Hunter still got a 4th, so that wasn't a complete loss. But if my teammate did that to me, I'd directly punch him in the mouth.
Well, I found it funny,
especially in the ARCA series, so just hit him. No one's gonna know.
They kept saying that he was gonna run when they would go into corners, they were talking about everybody has to run the dry line. Well, I got news for you. He never ran the dry line. He was running through the puddles and still drove.
Yep, and he did have. He did have rain tires on though. A lot of people had.
I know. I'm just saying though. Still, to do that in the puddles, even with good tires,
his talent.
That's skill.
He's talented. It was good, but it was a good. Once it got to the end after that late caution, it was good racing. No offense to the beginning of it. No one's going to try to save it. He was in his own time zone for a lot of it, but at least at the end it got exciting. And again, it was good to see Tony Breidinger get a 13th. Amber Balcan moved up to 15th after she started 18th. So they both moved up. They move up the most in the world, but they still moved up, which is good. And they're actually, both those ladies are showing, talent and moxie and ability, which is, all we can ask for. Because, normally they bring women up, don't even give them they're just ready to go. They don't give them a shot to do anything.
Like somebody with some of these younger ones, look at Haley Deegan. She's had guidance from guys like her dad. She's worked with she's worked with Timmy before, Feedawall.
You might know something her dad about,
winning.
Might know a little something about racing. Just a smidgen.
She's had guidance from Kevin Harvick a couple of times. She's reached out to people and had that skill given to her, which is something that never used to happen. I feel like it was more acceptable when Danica started to be in that series than it was to be in NASCAR.
I don't think they did Danica any favors.
No, I think true ability to learn and race and build on that skill for females in NASCAR didn't start until after she was already gone. Now, I'm not saying that her leaving and her career didn't help advance that. I'm not going to say it all because that would be a lie, I feel like. But, yeah.
Again, I just don't think they did her like they did her. As much mean things as we have to say about Danica. She went just ... Here you go. You're in the Cup Series, ready to go. I'm sorry, but that was nowhere near enough time to even pretend to be able to get ready and have be able to do what she needed to do. That was an impossibility. It wasn't going to work out, but you sure as hell they were pushing her and pushing her and pushing her. Why? We all know why they were. It had nothing to do with you. That was just to try to build the sport, and ram her down everyone's throat. She should have got a few more years to develop. Hell, I hope Haley stays in the truck series for another year or two, just because of how this year went.
I mean,
I don't think
hopefully.
they'll shove her up early. I mean, I think,
Well,
thankfully,
not only that, I think also on her end, I think she's learned enough from her dad to also know that, okay, I really don't feel I'm ready to do that.
I was going to say, and people might just be afraid of her dad. So I'm going to go do this. Did they? Like, do you want to piss him off? I have an odd feeling.
He's not known for being the most level-headed person
At times, to say the least. Yeah. Hopefully she stays down. And they don't, Danica. But those two, like, there's a few of them in the ARCA series female that are actually showing, talent. Natalie Decker, we're going to talk about her. She got to have, run the Xfinity Series at Atlanta.
He's good.
Good on her. I mean, like, and she, like, did I say on the Facebook page, what, finish the laps? That's all you could do. Like, get it. Like, who cares where you finish? What, just to be in there, finish laps.
There was 4 or 5 people in that particular race that you're referring to that was told that don't worry about winning.
Don't worry about anything.
Don't get worry about and finish. Let's just finish the laps in the race.
Let's just get to the damn end. That's all that should matter at that point. And she looked really good.
I believe that's a better crew chief than most of, if they have the intestinal fortune enough to say that openly, they're a better crew chief than most, because I feel like there's a lot of crew chiefs in NASCAR across numerous series that there's no one that stepped up and went, wait a minute here.
They're all just for the machine.
Yeah. And I feel like, I'm not saying they're the only ones, but they are more prevalent than the other ones. Toyota does it a lot. Or they'll push you up too soon and then kick you to the curb.
Well, duh. I mean, who have they ever done that to? I mean, like Joey and
nobody.
Suarez and Harrison Burton right now.
There's probably 5 or 6 drivers right now that's still driving that's been.
John Hunter got sent up to a Ford that he shouldn't. Casbrala got sent to a Chevy. There's a lot of guys, just the Xfinity Series, like as a whole, shoved up way too early. They lasted a year in subpar equipment. Of course, it didn't get any better. They're trying to figure it out in your subpar equipment. And then they got shot back down, and they were lucky that, at least John Hunter was lucky that Kyle was like, what? Here's your truck back, buddy.
Then you can go the other way with it. There's the guys like Ryan Preece and Matty D that just never really got the good equipment. And then they finally get the opportunity to go into something halfway decent, and they start making something work, and boom, they're taken out of it. And it's like
some younger idiot that wasn't ready yet. Some idiot that wasn't ready. But as we're on to Matty D in that truck series in Mid-Ohio, O'Reilly Auto Parts 150. We know I love Mid-Ohio. I know and I loved qualifying. And I will say that Justin Marks and Matty D, I don't know if you watched truck qualifying before they cut it off before the third round, just because everyone ran a lap, posted it. But those two dominated Group B. They were all up in there. Good for Matty D and Justin Marks. Too bad it stopped raining for the truck race, because I think that made a very large difference. Actually, Justin Marks' brakes made a difference. At least that's what it looked like to me, because there was no attempt to slow down with that. Was just.
I feel like his caught on fire, didn't it?
No, he didn't catch on fire. He went through the whole entire gravel trap going Mock Jesus till he caught a wall.
That's what it was.
Yeah, but that was just insane. But Corey Heim got the pole. Parker Kligerman got second. Good for him. In a good way. I know I don't sound very happy, but good for him, truly.
I think that was that I'm thinking of, where the guy's brakes caught on fire.
Justin Marks started 8th. Haley Deegan qualified 28th. And then the racing, the racing up front was really good, and there was good racing everywhere. I'd say that was the superior NASCAR race of the weekend by like leaps, bounds, miles, galaxies, eons, whatever the hell you want to put it. Kligerman won, stage 1, second career stage win. Zane Smith won stage 2. Shocker, after he won at Coda earlier, even though he shouldn't have won at Coda earlier, but a win is a win, don't you know?
It happens.
Kligerman was second. Justin Marks again lost his brakes at stage 3, and he just went. They cut it and kaboom. Didn't look like there was any way for him to stop, because no way in hell he went through that big of a gravel trap and didn't slow down at all.
Who was it?
That was an ungodly fast way to go through that.
In the ARCA race, there was somebody that got tangled up over there in the gravel trap and then couldn't get out.
There's a few of them. I can't remember who it was.
trying to think who it was. They literally buried it to the bottom of the car.
Hey,
But anyways, those guys,
and it was wet, which didn't help any of that.
and yeah, go ahead. Sorry. But the only reason I brought that back up from the ARCA series because it was at the same track as the truck series. And the girl you like, Belkin, she had the same problem. They were struggling because it was so light on the rear and it was wet. It was just constant spin outs. But the other one you were talking about, that was straight up blown into the gravel trap. There was no other way to.
He put himself in that gravel trap on purpose. I'm pretty sure he lost his brakes because, again, who was going to volunteer to go that fast through the whole thing and make no attempt to do anything? Just cut it at the end so you eat a wall. But
it happens though.
Again, I mean, yeah, and the late caution got everyone all together when Corey Heim died. But I will give Parker credit in all the works. There's a few times he could have lost that race in those last 3 laps. A few times he probably should have, and he did what he had to do when he had to do it to get that win. And I feel he was, much more deserving than a lot of people to have a ride. Like you said, I thought it was all over a few years ago because no one would sign him. Well, here's a good idea. Put him in equipment that could win. Maybe just.
Well, and that's just it. That's literally what you just were talking about too. Why don't they do more of that? Put somebody that's good in better equipment. Why is that so hard? They're questioning Kyle Busch. He's going to get a better ride next year. You watch.
He should. I mean, again, look at the races.
Almost got a feeling at this point they haven't signed something. I got a feeling Kyle is going to walk from them at this point. I'm just putting that out there. Anyway, sorry.
Where's he gonna? Where would he go? Like again, we had that big conversation. Where would he go? That's the big one.
Where? RFK.
We're talking about the same Kyle Busch, right?
Yes.
Why would he drive for that shit sandwich?
Why?
And look how mad he is.
You watch.
Hey, look how mad he is finishing second now. Jesus Christ! Think if he's not inside the 30 spots, but he will walk up and punch Brad in the face.
You were asking questions. I'm answering honestly. I have a feeling they'll be looking for somebody next year.
Think they're gonna dump the owner? Brad's gonna be like, "Well, I can't do it anymore. We suck." Well,
I think Brad himself will pull himself out after this year. I really do. If not this year, it will definitely be after next year.
I guess only time will tell. Just like, how long will it take me to take that TV and throw it through a wall?
Yeah.
Hey,
depends on
very real questions.
Because when we lived in the trailer, I could throw something through that wall. That house might be a different story, but the trailer, I could easily put something through that wall.
We all could, my friend.
I probably could put my fist through that wall.
Oh yeah, it wasn't that hard, but it wasn't even like drywall. It was just panel.
It's that 1/4-inch shit with them little weird strips in the center.
But it was. And before we keep going on that, it was a good race, though. I mean, I was proud of Parker. Hopefully, again, like we were saying, he does get it. He deserves like at least more races in good equipment. They're not saying what he's in isn't good equipment. I mean, he's actually competitive up there. At least every race he's in. I mean, is KBM stuff and all that better? Yes. Is KBM, Friesen, Thor Sport, like, are they better than? Yes, but are they? Nice. Is he one of them? No, but is he still very competitive? Yes. Did I think this one was long overdue? Yes. And does he deserve better? Yeah. He's kind of like Regan Smith. He went out there and he won races last year under junior. No one else signed him. Like, the guy was still out there winning. And Michael Annett had a ride for that long. Paul Menard had a ride. I'm sorry. I have problems with people like that having rides, and there's actual talented people that win races. And you could say whatever you want. But look at the people that were in that equipment that have never won anything.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. But Parker, good on him. Zane Smith second. Carson Osavar third, and locked himself into the playoffs. So good for him. Congrats to that. Stuart Friesen fourth. Christian Eckes fifth. Chandler Smith sixth. Kaz Gralla, just mentioned him earlier, up there in seventh. Derek Krause eighth. Colby Howard ninth. And, a big congratulations to Haley Deegan after starting 28th to round out the top 10 and get a 10th place finish. Yeah, that shows actual, really good talent right there and ability that a lot of people don't have. So as many, I mean, most of her bad luck this year has just been straight bad luck. I mean, one race, I mean, I think she had at least one or two races, at least one where the thing just caught on fire randomly on her, like the brakes on the track where you didn't use your brakes, just back of her car burst into flame. And she had a lot of weird stuff happen this year. So it was good to see her get a top 10, especially after how many people she had to pass. Now, Matty D got a 19th. That sucked. John Hunter Nemechek, 28th. Justin Marks, 31st. And then Connor Mozak, just because I've mentioned his name so much, I made sure I wrote him down again, finishing 34th, because apparently he is everywhere. Everywhere is that Connor Mozak. But
the fact that those two finished where they were, that says something.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
to finish 28th.
Yeah. I mean, that shows you the day. I mean, there was just a lot of bad luck. And Matty D again, yes, one for bad luck. Like the only luck I've ever had is bad. That's good. That's good. That's good. Do you believe?
Yeah. Well,
Ruben,
I mean, I'm sure.
Ruben, do you believe in luck? Only luck I've ever had is bad. That's good.
I mean, if you ask like him, like Hocevar, he's probably very unhappy that he got a third place. Well, a lot of people would be like, "Oh, third place is pretty good." No,
it's not. See, now we're gonna move faster. Mock Jesus. Granted, the Xfinity race sucked. Like all of it sucked. Anyone that wasn't complaining about that race sucked. But Ty Gibbs got the pole because the rain. Josh Berry was second. Berry won stage 1. Austin Hill won stage 2, and then Austin Hill went on to win the race because, heaven forbid, like it was just bad. Like that was all I wrote down too. Like there was nothing else to write down about the entire race. It was just bad. And
I don't. My problems with that track now is they've, for the guys that can race on super speedways, it's great. I don't like the way they did track though. The track is one you've lost a couple of good lanes that were really nice in turn 3 and 4. They're not there no more. As a matter of fact, none of the good lanes are there anymore. Anywhere.
Terrorist.
But with that being said,
I'm throwing the elbow over there now.
Yep. With that being said,
oh, watch the video, guys. Might as well just keep going. It's never going to end.
Yep. The biggest thing I don't like is the fact that when they come down in there, you got guys that are good on super speedways that run it in there 3 wide. I'm sorry, but those cars aren't necessarily a Prius. With that being said, you probably shouldn't be running them 3 wide in a corner. It's only 40 feet wide.
Yeah, and that track isn't yeah.
And especially when you start getting up towards that top 10 feet, what did Jeffrey Earnhardt call that crap?
I mean, he called
it started with an S. The scuds.
I mean, I've heard it called so many. I just stopped paying attention when people. It was sticky
I've
stuff.
heard it called
PJ
scrub.
Yeah, I've
We're gonna go with scrub.
Everyone else calls it something different.
Scrub.
It's not.
And it's never positive.
Yeah. They killed the track again. We were all like, "What? That first race, like that wasn't that bad." And guess what? We went back, and it was atrocious. Guess what? That answered the question. The amount of people in the crowd answered the question. Please, everyone, go back and watch the Xfinity race. Please go back and see the maybe 10th or 15th full stands. No one was there. See, look, and this is the thing why I'm glad I don't have any kids. But Austin Hill won again, so good for him. He only got another one. He should have had the last one there. So that happened. Josh Berry was second. Ryan Truex got a third, so good for him. He doesn't get a lot of opportunities. I always thought he should get more opportunities. Is he his brother? No. But, I mean, has he had the same opportunities as his brother? No. So, and there's that. Tyler Reddick was 4th. Hemrick 5th. Gregson 6th. Allgaier 7th. Castle 8th. Herbst got another top 10 in 9th. AJ got a 10th. Sheldon Creed 12th. Jeffrey Earnhardt 19th. Natalie Decker, mentioned earlier, 27th. She did what she had to do. Mission accomplished. I told her that. Put it on all the social media. Congratulated. You did what you needed to do. Get the laps. That's the only thing you need right now in your stage of your career in life. You just need to log laps. Lots of laps. As many laps as humanly possible.
Don't try to be a hero. Just get some laps.
That's what we had. I mean, that's what we have Noah Gragson for. He loves to try to be a hero.
And well, still get 2 weekends.
But Ty Gibbs 35th, which gets us to the Cup Series because there's little terrorist people running around behind you. Watch out for them. Cup Series Quaker State 400 again. I thought it sucked. I was okay with again, rain out for qualifying, so Chase Elliott was on pole. Whatever. They have their whole whatever it is. I mean, I don't think there should be any calculation that they do where you have to do algebra. I think you should just have them all random draw. I'm ready to go. We'll see how good you are now, bro. But that happened. BJ McLeod, Chris Buescher, and Ty Dillon got in a wreck together. And before the excuses started, everybody, I was already in. If you watch it, that pack that those three wrecked in together was not the main pack. They were already way in the back before all of your excuses started. Watch it, but he was literally, they were all by themselves.
Yeah, but I don't care what anyone says. Ty Dillon is another guy that should just
big one in stage 2. Good old Ross Chastain. He's everyone's favorite guy. Austin Dillon, Kyle Larson, Noah Gragson, Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr., Christopher Bell, Joey Logano, and Michael McDowell, all involved. A bunch of them, did get to, some of them got to keep, going. Like the car did hold up better. I will give them that. The car is more.
Yes, I'll give you that.
It doesn't implode nearly as fast, but Chase got stage 2 under caution. And then there was another big one with a bunch of people. And thanks to NBC, they didn't put a single anything on TV as to here's everyone that was involved. They just moved on with their lives. Now, congratulations to that. I mean, it's really simple in a race when there's nothing going on. You can tell me the 3 involved in the one. You can put a thing on the screen for everyone caught up in the second one. You can put the names on the screen for the one that happened there. It's not like anything else was actually happening.
Yeah.
Because the race sucked. First one, lots of lead changes, big runs, excitement. This one, I mean, what they do, change the spoilers. They had to have done something. But there's no punching a hole in it. They went shorter and it sucked.
No, this time it was bigger.
Did it? I thought they went shorter. All I know is it sucked.
7 inches this time.
And it sucked.
Yeah. I think that should have been a 5-inch spoiler track.
That sucked.
But with the degrees it's at, it should be no more than a 5-inch spoiler.
Atlanta sucked.
Try to convince me otherwise, NASCAR. Try me.
So you're going to be like, what's his name now? Mr. I'll argue anything. Crowder, louder than Crowder himself. Atlanta should only have a 5-inch spoiler width. Prove me wrong.
Try to convince me otherwise.
Well, I'll be here all day, but that absolutely sucked. Thanks for not telling me. But Chase Elliott got another one. Chastain finished second, which, well, Denny says it's not over by a long shot. I mean, Denny, but we should do a new thing. We should do a Wednesday show. And we'll just go back and watch all the races when Ross Chastain was in garbage equipment that Denny dumped him just to get him the hell out of his way.
You could have a Wednesday show just simply called Where Denny Went Wrong.
I mean, just talk shit about me. I'll go. We can go through every week. Here's another race. Well, he did one. Here's another race. Here's one more race where he did it.
We can go back guarantee all the races he screwed somebody over and just do one race a week and do a play-by-play. Oh, yep, this one. Yep, look at that. See,
where Denny went
right up
wrong.
under there, punched to rear somebody. Now 2 weeks later, this happened, and he threw a temper tantrum.
Where Denny went. We could do that daily. Well, I'll have to get rid of this show. Who Denny pissed off this day? Just this day in Denny's history.
Yep.
Here's who we pissed off this time. But screw him.
Not saying that he can't drive. Just he has a very, very, very piss poor choice mechanism in his brain. Let's just put it that way.
Cindric was 3rd, Eric Jones 4th, Blaney 5th, Suarez 6th, Justin Haley 7th. Good for him. But we know those guys can run plate tracks. They always have been able to. Almirola 8th, Cole Custer 9th, which is, and then Harrison Burton 10th. I mean, regardless how many people wrecked out, good for him. I mean, see, he finished 10th. Nice words. Now, if it was the old Atlanta, who knows what would have happened? We could compare it otherwise, but this is apples to bananas.
Atlanta.
This is apples to bananas. This is just, pray. Pray you're not near Ross, Brad, or Ricky. If you're not near any of them, you got a chance. And Brad, Simon, this is his own fault. It's just his car's a piece of shit, and he's going to blow a tire or wreck or something and be
Oh, wait a minute, though. Hold on. before I forget, who was it
Before I forget
that decided to not get the wheel tight and it came off 20 feet from their box?
I don't remember. I say I don't remember because if they were doing pit stops or stuff, the racing was so bad that I might have had this thumb
Okay, well,
on a
I don't
button
know
going,
who it was,
please Christ, what just make
but
it
they
go away?
dropped the wheel. Like literally as they were pulling out of their pit stop, dropped the wheel and turned around.
You'll remember it. You'll remember.
Maybe Christopher Bell.
Well, he finished. Oh, I wrote it down too. Anyway, Harvick got a 12th. Good for them. Bubba 14th. Guess what? I said Bubba can run plate tracks. I was even trying not to argue with people on Facebook and they're talking trash about him. Someone tried to say he had the worst pit crew in NASCAR.
Who?
Bubba. Well, one, Kevin's still there. So
As long as Kevin is racing, he'll have a tire
I
changer.
don't know how many races you've heard him openly going, car's great if the pit crew could just do their damn job. What, running top 2 all night and they keep dropping me back to 15th every time. You know, it's kind of hard to win races when you have to pass 200 cars for spot slots on pit road. You're sitting there going,
Joke.
you're sitting there going, damn, what?
And it's funny.
He mad. What he calling out them on TV? What he pissed?
And the one
Hello.
that usually uses that is not Rodney Childers. It's usually Timmy. Usually Timmy.
Go get a sub. Want a burger?
Whataburger.
Whataburger. Don't tell me Whataburger. I'm in North Carolina, Jacksonville. There would be no Whataburger. No, we're not even allowed to have a. We're not allowed to have anything cool here because our population isn't big enough because the base population doesn't count. Look, we got a Publix, homie. What? What? Give us nice things. Granted, if the base closed, the whole city would shudder and collapse. And as long as I got out first, Brad got an 18th. Corey LaJoy got a 21st. He deserved better. I mean, he had a chance to win on the last lap, so good for him. I think he's going to get one. I mean, the team, when he hasn't had bad luck, he's actually been running, better than the team's vastly improved. I think the new car is part of it, but I think he'll get one sooner or later, which gets us to the end of it because you keep looking up. There's terrorists walking around, You heard me.
Hi.
Hello. Say hi to the world.
Make faces, not highs.
But SRX at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway with Joseph Newgarden and Matt Kenseth in the race. I'm always fun.
Newgarden.
Yeah, but heat race number 1, Newgarden on pole, gets the win. Helio second, Bobby Labonte third. He looked good. Heat 2, local hero. Williams was on pole. Cole Williams didn't have the best. I think he was the worst finishing of all the local heroes so far this year. But he can't get them all. But Helio lost his right fender. Tony had all kinds of issues with whatever they're trying to fix mechanically on the car in the second heat there. Which sucked. But Williams won it. Marco Andretti was second. Biffle got a third. See, Biffle still can run. It's that way it is. Hey, we're almost done. Whoever you are, don't worry about it. I'm trying. I'm on fast forward right now.
Don't ask me for more information.
The main event, Bobby Labonte was on pole and won it. Marco Andretti was second. Matt Kenseth got a third. So good for him because I don't think he ran any of them last year. So that's a good hell of a debut right there. Get a top 3. Paul Tracy 4th. Helio 5th. Newman 6th. Michael Waltrip finally finished better than right around the back with a 7th. So good for you, Mikey. Justin Newgarden 8th. Biffle 9th. Ryan Hunter-Reay 10th. Smoke was again 11th, but he had some kind of issue. I don't know. They can between the heat at the end of stage 2. We saw him on there with his back wheels just spinning. Something broke. I didn't hear them actually say what it ever was, but again, I could have.
You know what?
I don't remember hearing it. Yeah, I don't remember hearing. At least
remember him, but I don't remember
Antonio's probably pissed.
Justification.
Antonio's probably just his cars, pieces of. I'm sure there was beautiful words coming out of Smoke's mouth. Just ask Ernie Francis Jr. Him and Tony are.
Well, if you take
they're friends.
Who won?
They're
the main, and then who Tony decided to help build a car in the middle of the night with the night before. Tony's probably going, now wait a minute, how's that work out? I help him and he wins.
Hey, that things happen, but I felt bad for Cole Williams again, worst finishing local legend so far this season. I mean, he was down there, and it sucked. But and I don't even
he
remember
did
anything.
Too.
Yeah, it's just
I don't think that's the type of racing he's used to.
hey,
and I'm not saying necessarily that track. I'm saying just the car. You gotta think that's a 750 horsepower car package in that car. That's like a late model chassis.
Yeah.
He's probably not used to running much over a 550 package.
Yeah, it's a whole different ball game. I agree with that. Yeah, but sucked to see it. But he did give up a good shot in the second heat race.
Like, not everybody's somebody like Josh Berry or what's the other guy that won last year? It destroyed everybody.
Stick him in there and just see you later. Bye. But
yeah.
Oh, well, but first time ever driving one or ever being here. Okay, well, where is he? By the way, by stage 3, don't worry. What he was in the lead. Like, never been here. Never driven one of these cars. Nope, never drove one of these. Never drove here. Well, give me about 100 laps. Okay, see you later. Bye. Ready, go.
Pretty much.
People, key gas, go. I mean, that's all you need. And then Tony Kanaan with his front end all ripped to bejesus. I mean, I didn't see that ending well. They should have just duct taped it.
Well, he wasn't the only one.
A lot of people had Tony had the biggest Kanaan, not Smoke, had the biggest piece of material missing from his car from the whole season so far. I mean, he was missing his whole damn fender.
What's the one always has?
And then he was still rear-ending Paul Tracy. I don't think you should bump Paul Tracy. When you're missing
he was missing at least half of the bumper and most of the 1/4 panel. And still decided to keep putting that tire to the left rear of.
Hey, everyone. They kept running into him. Remember me, old man? What? Crunch. Hey, Paul, I just think that means they remember you.
I think he was the target.
They missed you.
Everybody last weekend.
They missed you.
Exactly.
They just wanted to say,
we missed you and we know you're still here.
They just wanted you to know, hey, what we remember. But in closing, Atlanta sucked. NBC, sorry, you guys might have done some good, but you don't need 200 commercials. And how the hell did you not have a list? That's just terrifying. It's not like there was anything actually going on.
I don't want to say that. I feel like anytime something happens, any incident of any form on Fox, it's automatically a list of who's involved with that and what the lap was that happened.
Unless it's Natalie Decker. I mean, unless it's
almost
Jessica Friesen. Unless it's Jessica Friesen. What her barrel roll? What? We won't even mention it.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, they did bad stuff like that. But yeah, like it was just bad. But at least
all you hear is, but it's in his tone.
At least Haley got a good run though. She needed it. Natalie Decker got her laps, which was good. Yeah, she needed it a lot, actually. Sheldon Creed finally got to finish one, which is good. Parker Kligerman got a win. Yeah.
An old man came back and won another guitar.
Tony Breidinger and Amber Balcan in the ARCA series both ran good, and I hope they stay down there longer. I mean, there was some good stuff. And we finally got some kind of results from Crandon finally. Wasn't all of them, but I mean, and well, Eli Tomac didn't need another good run, but what else was he going to do? He comes, he sees, he wins. He's going to have to sell his house.
Really just hope that CV pulls out a championship this year.
That'd be nice.
I don't foresee Brad contending in this series at all, so we'll just leave that there.
And shout out to Justin Marks, because you didn't hear his name in the racing world a lot, except for trackhouse stuff, to get back in the vehicle at all and to be running competitive at all. I mean, that's no matter what, time off is time off.
Oh yeah,
and to go out there and be running Trans Ams and trucks and just here there like going out and doing an SRX race, like good to see him back, doing that. I think that's really cool for me to be able to. And that's where I'm going to leave that. Oh, and Denny is still a dick. That's where I'm going to leave it. Sorry, okay. Denny.
That's fair.
You're kind of an asshole. You have like karma. Like there's just a cloud falling over you.
Oh yeah, he'll regret it. Don't worry, he'll regret it.
You'll wreck him at the wrong time.
I hate
to break it to y'all, Justin Marks isn't getting rid of him. So if you cost him like a chance at a championship, I'm pretty sure Justin won't care how many of his cars
get wrecked.
pretty sure he'd have the same mentality because he's still an old racer at heart. But, oh,
And
really?
look who he
What?
was involved with
Crunch?
at a young age. I mean, look who he was around, who he was involved with. Don't think he won't return the favor.
I don't
Denny.
think he'll be going, what? Ross, what? Get him. Okay, what? He said he likes him driving the way he is now.
Or
Think,
race the rest of the season.
think if
Do
he
it.
cost him a championship, what? Get him. Okay, what?
Well, that's kind of like Kevin last year. He kind of, well, in the last few races, he just became a very disgruntled feller.
It's putting it lightly, but again, like I said, I'm ending it on Denny sucks. Your
I-
dick.
Denny's got an attitude for sure.
You've had an attitude problem forever. You tell people,
I
stay.
think
You tell
it's still-
people to stay humble.
Not take away from his skill because he can
Hey.
drive.
You tell everyone, stay humble.
Yeah.
How about coming from you? Yeah.
Yeah, I agree to that one. Coming from you, you're telling everybody to stay home.
You're telling people
Well,
how to
you
drive
don't
and
be
to stay humble. What? When have you ever been humble? Like you were
Well,
cocky?
I think his biggest problem is he doesn't. If he wants everybody to be humble, don't drive like an idiot, Denny. And then if somebody does make a mistake and maybe does on another race intentionally spin you, one, if you probably should look in the mirror, maybe you had it coming if you got intentionally spun. And if somebody accidentally spins you in a corner situation or a situation where there's no other option, if there's a last chance ditch bullshit situation, you can't get mad at him for that. Now, intentionally, if it was continuous, that'd be one thing, but it hasn't been that. Now, I will say there was St. Louis where Ross and him just were, well, we'll leave that there.
They have magnets. And that's what
But-
happens after that happened. What they're
But he's
automatically
got a lot
on
of
each
nerve
other.
Thing about anyone.
At least he's got a big old set of huevos. We're about to see how big they are. But anyway, thank you for everyone watching, listening. We're going to share everything out. And if you could get on there and share out all the videos, like, subscribe, and watch them on YouTube. And all that would help, because now suddenly, no matter, even if I don't share anything all day, Facebook's only letting me share 2 things a day from all my shows combined. So if you guys could go on there and share it out, that'd be great, because I went and saw the numbers people reached and it was pretty much non-existent because, oh wait, they won't let me share anything. Please tell me that they aren't fucking with me as much as humanly possible. Like they did it on the one. Now we're moving on to this one.
Well, it's like the one.
Don't worry, there's still one for them with me on, but
Well, that's no different than the censorship
2.
thing that happened to us a couple of weeks ago. The one show we never cussed once, and then the other show we sure as hell cussed.
And there's an expletive next to the good one, and there's a clean next to the other. Like, did you actually listen? Why?
I know I dropped at least 3 in that show.
Probably almost about as clean as a mud puddle. I mean, damn. But again, whatever you're on, follow along, like the videos, especially YouTube and Rumble, hit rate the shows. And on Spotify, Apple, podcasts, all of them, hit a rate. It helps make it go up more, and the more subscribers and likes, comments we get, the more it shows up, on things. But enjoy the rest of your week. We'll be back on Friday, because there's all kinds of videos. And don't worry, that'll be in the morning, so the terrorists will be unconscious. There will be Chuck's hearing yelling. That's because bad things are happening outside of his house, not inside of his.
Yep.
You're welcome. And so enjoy the rest of your week. Don't forget to literally share it out, because I physically am not allowed to. Apparently 2 shares is my max for a day for everything. Thanks, Zuck. Enjoy the rest of your week, and until Friday, peace.
Peace.